And I'm just going to, so these calls are now actually recorded as video calls, and they are available on YouTube. And the nice thing about having it as a video call is that you can fast forward to the part that you want to listen to, if it's the stress management or if it's question and answer or the topic of the day. So, and that's why I have been doing an intro about myself and about Richard, because there are people tuning into YouTube who don't know anything about the call or the protocols or who Richard is. So I'm just going to say briefly that, you know, I struggled for close to 4 years with resistant mites, springtails, and Morgellons. And Richard's book was an answer to prayer for me. And the call and the support made all the difference in my getting well. So that's why I'm here, and I wanted to give back. Richard, also, I think it was in the 90s, he went through a horrible time with all these things, and he developed the diet by starting an elimination diet and slowly adding foods and seeing what things fed the parasites. And the diet is incredible, and I don't think anything can really work without the diet. But so as more information comes to light, you know, doctors are pretty ignorant about Morgellons and springtails and mites. Even exterminators are ignorant about mites and springtails for the most part. So as Richard learns more and people share solutions that they have found that actually work, he keeps revising the book. The book just came out recently in the 10th edition, and that's awesome. So he doesn't have all the answers, but he never stops looking. And anyway, he's accessible through email, and he's on this Sunday call where you can ask him questions. And at this point, I would like to introduce Richard Kuhns, if you're there. Richard, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Robin. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Sunday Morgellons event of the week. I am Richard Kuhns, author of the How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons, Chronic Lyme, and Other Skin Parasites. And this subject of today's call is Robin's suggestion, and that is how to use the book. This and it's kind of timely because the 10th revision of the book has just been released. It's available on Amazon, also available through our store. Now, this is not the 10th revision because the first 9 were wrong or had misinformation or bad information. Morgellons, because we have really zero help from the CDC or from the medical community, is pretty much left up to us to figure out what works and what doesn't work and how to get our lives back. And, you know, Terry Cole Whitaker, Reverend Terry Cole Whitaker, author of a couple of books, has a vignette or a parable about the fellow walking along and he fell in a lion's pit, you know, and he couldn't get out. And he cried for help. And he cried for help. And he couldn't get out. And he cried for help. And there was no help. There was nobody to email. There was nobody to text. There was nobody to phone because he didn't have all this stuff. He eventually took a few deep breaths and figured out how to get out on his own. Well, that's what I did back in the 90s. And that's what you have to do. Back in the 90s, I went on the internet. That was kind of scant. There was a lot of misinformation. People say, yeah, I got cured, but there's no way of getting in touch with them, no way of finding out what they actually used or what they actually did. There were no details, absolutely no details. I was pretty much convinced myself that that would be the end of my life, would be itching myself to death. And if I didn't commit suicide, that was my only alternative. And through the advice of a friend, I tried everything else, all the doctors and all the king's men, and they couldn't put me back together again. I eventually turned to diet as a last resort, I guess. I mean, I suppose there would have been other last resorts. But the diet was phenomenal. Many people have since called it the cure. It is not a cure. It is not a cure. But it is the only way I know to start crawling out of this hole. And that is for you to do. And you can make mistakes. It's very detailed. Unlike diets that say, well, you eat this, you eat some protein, and you eat some vegetables, and you know whatever. This diet is very detailed. It took me 2 years to figure it out. Taking copious notes of what foods I could have and what I couldn't have, and there were complications because you can actually get to the point where you have no reactions for maybe a week and then eat something, and it might take, instead of 20 minutes, it might take 3 or 4 days for you to react to that food, what I call a delayed response. So it took a long time to figure it out, and it's the first step out of the hole. Now, I know there are, this is a working meeting for the people who are familiar with my book, who have read the book, and Robin's got to go over how to use the book a little later on, and one of the participants in the program, her name is Mary, hopefully she'll be on and she'll share how she used the book. Mary has become somewhat our Facebook coordinator or Facebook representative. I go on Facebook, I can't handle it. I get depressed looking at the comments, and I want to shout, read my book! But, you know, who am I? On Facebook, I'm just another person with an opinion. So, but that's what I constantly want to shout. The answers are in the book. And for people who have come to us from Facebook today or out of, I mean, you might at the end of this program say, well, I should have watched the football game. It would have been more interesting. Because this is not the whole program. We are only capable of touching a little bit. The protocol is quite in depth. And every week we have different subjects because people get on the Facebook and they say, Morgellons is fungal, or Morgellons is chemtrails, or Morgellons is everything, but not necessarily fungal, for instance. You could have Morgellons and not have an iota of fungal, but fungus is a complicating factor. So is 5G. There are a lot of complicating factors, and every week we go through different aspects or different topic of interest. This week happens to be how to use the book, because it seems that many people just read the book like they do a novel, they put it down and say, well, that was an interesting read. I did learn probably more than I did talking to the doctor. And then they go about trying to implement what's in the book from memory and don't get very far, or they don't really read the diet chapter because the diet chapter is very detailed. 80% of the people, there was a questionnaire that was attached to the email that went out today, and I have, I don't know, probably 1,000 or 1,500 questionnaires that have been submitted to me. So I probably have a data bank that is far more extensive than any human on this planet in terms of the symptoms that people experience with Morgellons. For instance, 80% of the people with Morgellons also have columbola or columbola. I don't know the correct pronunciation. Remember, I'm in the trenches. I'm not the doctor. I'm not on the ivory tower figuring out what I think might work. I have been in the trenches. I have beaten columbola. I have beaten skin fungus. I've beaten Morgellons. I've beaten chronic Lyme disease. I've beaten skin tub rash, just to about anything associated with the skin, I've had the good fortune of having first-hand experience with. And so I say this not to impress you, but to let you know that the trench I'm very familiar with. I've been there. It's in the book. And as Robin said earlier, you are each my research team, about 8,000 or 9,000 people in our database. I learn a lot from you, and as I learn, I investigate. As you let me know what you find, I look into it. Robin joined the program about a year and a half ago. She used the telephone. She tuned in. She got what she needed. She asked questions. It took her a while for the diet to kick in, and she can explain that later on. She's used the book. She's read the book many times. She's referred to it many times. Don't ask me what's in the book. I don't know. I don't remember everything in there. It's a research project. My brain's not big enough to remember everything in there, but it's got more information in there than you're going to find anywhere in the universe. Absolutely. So I wouldn't expect myself to read that book once and remember everything in there and know how to put it into action. I would expect that I'd have to read that book over and over and over. Chapter 3 about how to disinfect, how to bathe is about 60 pages long of all the different kinds of disinfectants and what you can use for different applications, which ones you can mix and which ones you can't mix. Obviously, you don't mix ammonia with bleach. That would be disastrous. But there are other things you don't want to mix together as far as disinfectants go. So for those of you here from Facebook, I hope you enjoy it, the program. I hope it sheds some light and whet your appetite to the point that you want to get the book. The e-book is free, but you can't make notes in the e-book. So eventually you're going to want to get the soft cover copy. We have a few of the 9th revision available very inexpensively, I think around $8 or $9 that you can order and go from there. So, Robin, let's get back and you had brought this subject up that we wanted to talk about how to use the book today. So, shed some light on what you find. Okay.
Well, here's the new book. I have it right here in my hands, the 10th edition, and it's so I don't have. So the way I used the book, first of all, I have both the downloaded book and the hard copy. I like the downloaded book because you can search. You know, it's a PDF, and PDFs are searchable. So if you want to search for a specific food to see if it's okay, if it's in the book, you can type that in. Or if you want to search for a specific protocol. But what I did with the hard copy is I bought lots of little Post-its. They have like little strips, and I would just mark sections that I needed to read over and over. And I used it as a reference. It's a reference book. So when I was learning about the diet, I would constantly refer to it, and I bookmarked where it listed foods for the different stages, where it went into details about things that are hidden in foods that we can't eat. And in vitamins, the section on cleaning your environment, all the different protocols. I had each protocol bookmarked with Post-its, and I would constantly refer to it as I developed my own protocols, because I took what was in the book and I used that as a starting point, and then and then I developed my own system with it. And that's kind of what we all need to do. It's because every person is different. There are just like I forget how many kinds of springtails there are. Granted, only 6,000. Only 19 infest humans, but so those 19 are all different, and the people they infest are all different. And so you have to be creative, be able to think creatively, and be aggressive and persistent. And the book is what helped me do that. I mean, I kept it on my kitchen table in a plastic bag. And
with
they love paper. And I would review every day what I was going to do that day. You know,
everybody on this call, we suffered. We know what you're going through. We were awakened at 3 a.m. with biting and itching in our private parts and felt them in our brains, working through our ears. We all went through that.
Yes. Yes, and it is, you know, everyone's like, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. But you know what? Life is not fair and life is hard, but you can get through it. And we're here to support you. I mean, what a blessing that is. And if you're consistent, I mean, you know, the diet can be a challenge because it's so easy to make mistakes. Like we had one person who thought she was perfect on the diet, and then she read the ingredients on her salt, and there was sugar in the salt.
Sugar in salt. Could you believe that?
That's crazy. That's like a plot. That's the kind of conspiracy theory I believe.
I believe so.
You know, but you have to get good at reading labels, and you have to know what you can eat and what you can't. And there are things that say they're organic and they're natural. It doesn't mean they're on this diet, and it doesn't mean they don't have hidden sugar or soy or other things that we can't have on the diet. So it's really important. And the other thing, like for me, my environment was so bad that the diet, once I finally nailed it, wouldn't kick in. And the book has a whole section about why certain psychiatric drugs can help. Like, you know, they would, doctors and dermatologists would say that it was delusional parasitosis, and they would prescribe a whole range of,
Tremazide.
Right.
And then they take credit. They take credit for people getting better because they are typically known as medications for mental issues like Tourette syndrome or schizophrenia. So here is the psychiatrist bounding on his chest saying, hey, I know what I'm doing. I'm prescribing antipsychotics. That proves that Morgellons is a psychotic issue. And wow, they are wrong, because what we find recently is a dopamine-related issue, and that these medications reduce the uptake of dopamine into the brain, and that these parasites have the ability of producing enzymes which overload the body with dopamine.
Right.
The psychiatrists never looked at that research or even thought of putting that together. They just made the assumption. You know, if you go on not to crow, but I want to crow a little bit. If you go on Amazon, you're going to find my book there with over 170 reviews of about 4.5 average. And the other 0.5, the primary people who have given me like a 1-star rating or a 0-star are because they criticized me for recommending or utilizing these medications, saying that, oh, Richard's a fraud. You're giving in to the psychiatrist. Totally jumped to conclusions and didn't understand what it was all about. In fact, I was fortunate to find a physician many, many years ago, one out of maybe 20 physicians that was aware of ORAP being used at a county fair where people were infested with mites. Now, you mentioned, we talked about 6,000 species of Columella. There are over 40,000 species of mites, according to Britannica. You know, the typical ones are bird mites, rat mites, and things like this, and then there are the red mite and the chiggers and things like that, but that's only a smattering. We don't even know what all the mites are that are bothering us, but it doesn't matter. because Chapter 3, you put it into play, and it'll get you out of the hole, whatever your mite is. You don't have to identify it, but if you want to, you can send a sample of the mite to Vet DNA, and they will identify it, and that identification will then at least be able to let you go to your landlord and say, hey, we need treatment because we've got an infestation of these mites. But aside from that, that's all the value of that is.
Right.
So, Mary, are you on the call? I'd like you to share how you used the book if you're on the call. I guess she wasn't able to tune in. She has a situation with her mother-in-law with dementia.
You know, I did want to say one other thing about the stress management part of the call is that also another thing that doctors didn't understand, what, you know, these parasites feed on cortisol, which is your body takes sugar and turns it into cortisol. And the other thing is when you're under high stress and you're super anxious or depressed, it raises your cortisol level and it makes the parasites more active, which is why some kind of stress management technique is so helpful. Besides the fact that it gives you the ability to think clearly and lowers your blood pressure, but it lowers your cortisol as well. And I just wanted to say that.
Yes, and that's an important point because last week we did 2 stress management techniques. We did the tapping and we did the deep breathing, and somebody actually wrote in and said that the tapping was a total waste of time. Well, that may be for you. In fact, for years I thought tapping was a total waste of time myself. But we're all different, and what works for you might not work for somebody else, or vice versa. So in fact, we even discussed the fact that deep breathing, if you are prone to agoraphobia or severe anxiety, deep breathing is not going to work for you either. It's not a good technique. That tapping would be a better technique, or some kind of quiet repose where instead of focusing on your breath, you focus, if you're listening to music, see if you can figure out the type of instruments that are being played in the background. Or if you're driving and you have your window down, see if you can focus on the most distant sound. That has a way of relaxing certain individuals as opposed to deep breathing, relaxing many of us.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, I did get like 3 people texting me and telling me that tapping was their favorite part. So different strokes for different folks.
Very well said. So, where are we stroking next?
Well, that's up to you, Richard. You're the host. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go to people sharing their experience, or do you want to go to deep breathing, or what would you like to do?
Well, generally we, just to make sure the new people are on the right page and at the right program, and that they're not alone, because Morgellons is such an isolating issue. We have an opportunity for people to share their nightmares and dealing with the medical community, or their nightmares even dealing with their own family situations. So if anyone would like to share, everybody's welcome to share at this point their experiences and how many doctors they went to and how they were diagnosed, how they were treated by the medical community, or their isolationism at home with their family. Anyone like to share?
Hi, guys. I would like to share a few things. The first thing is, Richard,
who is this?
I would like to say, this is Mary Fran.
Hi, Mary Fran.
Oh, you're here, Mary. Okay, I was just asking you to share about how you used the book.
Yeah, so I wanted to say that I have both the 9th edition of your book and the 10th edition of your book, and I enjoy them so much. And I wanted to say to the people listening that on page 76, in the 10th edition, you talk about something that has been critical to my improvement. I just want to give everyone some encouragement. I am not healed, but the sores on my legs, I went to Citibank about 3 weeks ago, and I thought I was going to rip off my legs through my pants. I was scratching so much. Those have healed, and then they left brown marks on my legs, and those are now starting to go away. So I'm not perfect, but I want people to have hope. We can do this. And now I will talk about the book. In the book, you mentioned that when we sit someplace, a chair, a sofa, and I'm going to go further and say even the toilet, we should spray and wipe it. Because in the beginning, I found in the hardware of my toilet seat, of the commode, all these mice. But I never realized that every time I sat down that I was dropping the mice. So that, in your book, in the 10th edition, that is found on page 76, and everyone should read the book and take notes. It's a wonderful book. If you get frustrated the first time with the book and you say, this is overwhelming me, just go back nice and easy. The diet, I've lost 60 pounds. I feel healthier. I had to give up a lot. I mean, I cried when I couldn't drink coffee. I mean, I did that. I know you have coffee on your diet, but I found that coffee is mold, and I went a step further. But I want to encourage everyone, not just the book online, but get the book yourself. You can write in it and refer to it. And I thank you, Richard and Robin and Ethel. And, you know, Richard, if you want to talk about the chitinase and the lufeneron, I feel that's helped me, the Fenben. So I'm just saying thank you. And I want everyone listening to have hope.
That's great. Richard, can I add something
sharing.
too? Richard, this is Robin. I forgot to mention about the book.
One more thing. I want to note that Mary Fran has taken the advantage of emailing me questions.
Right.
And that makes a big difference sometimes. That's what we're here for. We're not here just to say read the book and figure it out. I'm here to help you. I don't do telephone calls. They're a waste of time. So
let me say something else, Richard, to everybody. I have emailed Richard's copy of, let's say, vitamins or something to take for constipation, and it had licorice root in it. And then Richard would say, I don't know, licorice root can activate them, and I really don't want to activate them. So thank you, Richard. You answer every email. You're right there.
You're welcome.
Right. And people have texted me pictures of ingredients as well and questions. And, And I'm available for that as well. But I wanted to say the other thing I did with the book was I bought a binder with tabbed sections, and I created my own sections for protocols, for the diet, for recipes, because I'm writing a recipe book, and for notes from the calls. And I kept it all in a binder, and I still have that, and I add to it all the time. So, you know, my notes from the book, my notes from the Sunday calls, they have a special section in my binder, and that's really helpful too, because it also the information I found most helpful, I can pull it up quickly because it's separate. So I just wanted to encourage that also.
Yes, the first time, as Mary Fran noted, it is overwhelming. The information is totally overwhelming. And fine, you just have to step back from it and get familiar with it. I mean, the parasites are not going to go anywhere. You got all the time in the world to step back from it and go through it again and go through it again and start putting it into play, and email me questions. Robin is an excellent coach for free. We're here to get you back. You know, we're going to put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
It really, really works. I thank you so much. Everything. And you know what? I have to say this to people too. You get discouraged with different things, and I think that's very normal, and you get a very downtrodden feeling. And I just want to say that that's part of the process. So if anyone's listening and they feel maybe hopeless, that's part of it. Some days you really do feel hopeless, but, you know, hang in there.
you make 2 days progress and you lose a day, and you can't figure out why. What did I do wrong? What happened? What's different about today than yesterday?
Right.
And you get discouraged. It's real easy to say, oh, nothing's ever going to work for me. But that's when you need to step back. All right, you're not out of the hole yet, but you're getting there. You're further up than you were. You're not at the bottom anymore.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
That's great, Mary Fran. So glad to hear about your progress.
Anyone else like to share your experience dealing with the medical profession, the
Yes.
stress of dealing with these? Yes.
Yes, this is John from Sag Harbor. And don't you think it's time for doctors to get on the bandwagon and to recognize there is something going on? It's been many, many years since we've been complaining and suffering. I just went once again to Southampton Hospital and wasn't even talked to, looked at, anything. I have a parasite that I cannot identify, and he wrote a discharge letter saying I was schizophrenic. And so I tried Caplyta, which is a new drug, which made me sleep for 2 days. It was a horrible experience. It's time for these wonderful doctors who are smart but stupid in that they don't want to spend the time maybe doing research and giving up the 8 minutes they have for people with stuff they know. It's time for them to do the right thing.
They're not into doing the research, unfortunately. And, I mean, I can understand it with COVID-19, but even before that, they're very busy with cancers. You know, they're overwhelmed with all kinds of infections and cancers and colds and diabetes and heart conditions and stuff like that. They really don't have time to look into this. Right. And it's supposed to be the dermatologist really looking into it, not the general practitioner. It's supposed to be the dermatologist. That's his job.
They're not, though. They really aren't, and why don't they make the time? Well, this is suffering. We are suffering. We really are. Many, and there are many more out there that aren't saying anything.
I think that, you know, blaming people is not very helpful because we have to take responsibility and control of our health. And that's true for the whole medical profession. I mean...
Sorry, what was that, Robin? What was the point?
My point is that they were trained a certain way and they believe what they were trained. And research is changing and it's very slow, and most of the stuff that we know has come out in the fairly recent past, within the past few years. And doctors have not kept up with that. They were trained one way and they believe that. We need to take control of our health.
Yeah, the thing is, patient heal thyself. And if you go back to the 30s, I think it was the 30s, there was a Dr. Rife, and you may have heard of Rife Technology. We talked about Spooky 2 and frequencies. And back then, there was a political issue with the AMA, and the fellow who was in charge of the AMA was leaning towards Rife, and then I believe, if I recall correctly, he was replaced by somebody else, and this other person that replaced him was in favor of antibiotics. He thought the shot would be better, the shot in the arm, and penicillin, I think about that time, penicillin was developed, and they went that way. So there was a division back in the 30s or 40s that has changed the course of medicine for the last 80 years. And it's unfortunate. And things like healing frequencies were completely dismissed. And
well, the FDA just recently approved the OnDemand machine over all the other energy medicine machines, including the Rife. And it's very good. So why don't the doctors realize that and at least be allowed to or forced to take a course in it?
Well, they don't even recognize Morgellons being a disease as a result of the study the CDC did from 2008 to 2012, where they report it being a delusion to more of a psychological stress-related issue. And it is stress-related.
But one can see with one's own eyes, Magellan. They grow.
Anyway, we can cry in this soup for the rest of the day. Would anybody else like to share your experiences with the doctors and the frustration you've gone through? Thank you very much for your share.
Yeah, Richard in Texas.
Yes, Richard.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that I went over to my VA doctor, and I told her my problems and such, and she just looked at me, and she gave me the understanding that bird mites will not affect humans. They only affect birds. And I told her, I said, well, then you need to go to the Mayo Clinic website and look at that, because I said they tell you in there about the mites and the problems there are. And she says, well, do whatever you want to do then. She never did give me an answer.
She didn't want your lecture.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I guess I knew more than she did, but then, for a VA doctor, I'll tell you, for a VA doctor, she's dumber than a bag of rocks.
So, yeah, thanks for sharing, Richard. Anyone else like to share?
This is Robin again. I just want to say quickly one quick thing. In the book, there's a whole section of websites and documents you can take to doctors if you have a doctor you're working with that you want to try and educate. And
yes.
I found them really helpful, actually. And I have a doctor that read everything I sent him, and he's been great. And I know that's the exception, but
they are hard to find.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, but there is ways you can share information with doctors that's in the book, and with family members who don't believe you, and
that's how we became associated with Dr. Sue. Is that his patient, who is one of her name is Caroline. She was a guest speaker maybe 7, 8 months ago, a nurse, and she gave the book to Dr. Sue, and Dr. Sue knew her and went through the book, and he works with us in prescribing the medications that are required to be supervised by a medical doctor. But they're hard to find, these doctors. Okay, anyone else like to share your nightmare?
My name is Jennifer, and I'm in Boston, and I'm new.
Welcome.
Here. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
My nightmare, I'm going to try to make it really brief because I don't want to bore anybody, but I did step into this rabbit hole knowing nothing about it. I thought I was pretty healthy. I recovered from cancer 10 years ago, and I moved into a new house. They found mold, so I left it up to the realtors stupidly to take out the mold. I thought it was already taken out. I moved into the house, and within 2 months, I felt like a burning brain, really weird symptoms, and then I felt like there was something growing in my nose. It looked parasitic, so I thought I would just go down to the infectious disease doctor, because I thought that's what you do, and completely gaslit me and was mad at me, and I showed it to him, and he said, I actually had to blow it out, which I know is really gross, but it kept growing back on a wound, and I blew it out.
I'm sorry for laughing, but...
No, he was just mad at me, and I was just like, this is it. It has a tail, and this is it was so obvious. And he said, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do with this? Yelling at me. And I said, well, could you maybe test it if it's parasitic? And he laughed and he said, look, just get out. Just get out. You just wasted enough of my time. And I said, could you just give me one last chance? Could you test it?
Yeah.
And, this was in October of this was 2 years ago, and I was on the right track because all I did was research what mold was found in the house, and one of them was Aspergillus, And, I started looking at this, what it looked like, the shape of it in my nose. And so I was gaslit by infectious disease doctor, one after the other, constantly. And then finally I stumbled, and I was in Western Mass as well. I stumbled into an integrative medicine place, functional medicine. I was taught that that functional medicine, I didn't even know what that was. And they did my blood levels, and it was sky high for mold, 15,000. And then they said to me, we need more blood. And I couldn't believe that a doctor was listening to me. So I said, yes, take whatever blood you want, and I was so excited to find somebody listening. And then I did, this Biocidin and GI detox, and I thought I was starting to feel a little bit better. And then they got my blood work, and the doctor looked really frightened at me when I was feeling a little bit better, because I thought I was getting over the mold illness. And I said, well, I think I'm feeling a little bit better on this. And she said, well, I have really bad news for you. You have a blood parasite. And she said, you have something called Babesia duncani. And I was horrified. And I said, how can I get rid of it? And she said, well, here's some Mepron, and here's some here's some Mepron and azithromycin. And this stuff only just made me worse and worse. And then I went back and I got another blood work and came back for Bartonella, positive for Bartonella. And then a year later, they put me on more antibiotics, and I think I've been to every Lyme literate doctor in New England. I finally went to, I'm trying to get over brain fog here. So last year I was using the saunas, and I found something really very odd last year. My hair felt like it was moving. So I didn't understand. My hair was like itchy, and so this was last year. So I got on Ginger Stavely's protocol, and it just seemed to kind of make things worse. I was taking ivermectin, and so I had no idea what I was doing. I was just following this protocol, and I just started getting worse and worse, and then finally brings me to this day, today, where it's been 3 years out now, and, diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease and all these co-infections, which is positive for them through Galaxy and IGeneX. And then now I've had to shave my head every day because the wild itching and burning, and I feel like it's not even my hair anymore. It grows. It when I shave it, it looks like black tar in the sink. So I feel like feels like I'm growing shards of glass.
Excuse me, Chris, can you identify that weird noise? It sounds like something from
There's
Pluto.
a rooster.
Well, there's a rooster, but there's a lot of other stuff going on. Anybody who's got background noise, please press *6. That will mute you.
I just muted them.
Okay, thank you.
Rooster.
I have to apologize. Background noise because we're doing the same.
Hello?
Hello. Oh, hello.
Yeah, because we're doing the kind of call that we're doing where people can call in, we have no control of the background noise, and it does detract from what is happening. But this is a very important subject that we're talking about right now. Or what's your first name again?
Oh, my name is Ginger. I'm in Boston. I just moved out of Western Mass. So.
Cinder? Okay.
Oh, Ginger. Ginger,
yeah.
You were in Western Mass. I'm from
I'm pretty close to Western Mass now. That was where I was living. Yes.
Now,
cool.
There are several important points here, but before I get into them, Mary Fran earlier asked me to talk about kinase enzymes and lefineron, but before I do that, I have to make my statement. The FDA requires me to inform everybody on this call that neither me, Robin, or any of my coaches are here to treat, diagnose, or cure anybody. Before you start the diet or accept any of our recommendations, we're here to thoroughly discuss it.
Whoa.
Thoroughly, get rid of that. Get rid of that.
That's not on my end.
No.
Someone.
Sounds like somebody's trying to talk. Before you start the diet or accept any of our recommendations, you're thoroughly discuss them with your medical professional to make sure they do not interfere with any existing health problems. The purpose of what I do and Robin and anybody that works with me is here to instruct you how to clean these organisms out of your environment, out of your skin, and clean them out of your body to build health and immune functioning through targeted supplements that we have. Now, regard to targeted supplements, when it comes to all fungus, mold, candida, whatever brand of fungus it is, they have one thing in common, and that is what's called the building block, the chitin, C-H-I-T-I-N, chitin. It's like the mortar in a brick wall. If you take away the mortar, the brick wall will fall. Mm. So we have two approaches to deal with chitin. One is a medication that is ordered from Mexico but sent to you from Texas, is Lufeneron. Lufeneron is a pet medication generally. The veterinarians are far ahead of the doctors in this country, the medical doctors. And Lufeneron blocks the production of chitin in the future. It will not affect any chitin that's already formed in your body. Now, things that are chitin is in are the eggshells of mites, as well as the building blocks of all fungal organisms. So chitin is inhibited by Lufeneron. Now, for the existing chitin, for the existing mold, to clean it out, and the existing mites with their mouth parts to clean them out, that we have chitinase enzymes. The enzymes that we have actually break chitin down. They assimilate it. They break it up, get rid of it. So in combination of those two is probably the best approach there is to dealing with internal fungal organisms. And the chitinase enzyme also is effective against biofilm. Now, one of the things you want to do is go to our website, or you can email me just by returning the email that you received from me and ask for the Lyme report. As I mentioned in the beginning, I had suffered from chronic Lyme disease. It almost killed me. It was the point after I had finally beaten the skin parasites and could say, wow, I can live. Lyme disease almost killed me. And through nutritional supplementation that is spelled out in the Lyme report, along with all the different techniques, antibiotics, vitamin C and salt, rifing, they're all discussed in the Lyme report. So before you start any treatment, you want to be nutritionally sound. And if you get nutritionally sound like I eventually did, you won't need any treatment, perhaps. I'm not making any guarantees, but that's the first step you do. So it involves taking the chitinase, it involves taking our multiple vitamin, which is formulated for Lyme disease. It involves taking boosting glutathione. Glutathione gets rid of toxicity in the cellular structure, protects the mitochondria, and diminishes free radicals, which makes Lyme disease very unhappy. Mm. And then we have the Garcilin, which is a psyllin. It's a natural antibiotic, antiviral, antiprotozoan, and antifungal. So you put those four things together along with the chitinase enzymes, and you pretty well have what you need to be nutritionally sound, and they find that after that, treatment is not necessary.
Richard, could I ask you one question about my scalp, though? What do you think the best treatment for that would be, if everybody else doesn't mind if I ask that quick question? Because I'm shaving my head right now.
Well, that was about Lyme disease. Now, if you look at the research that the Morgellons Foundation has, basically they say everybody with Morgellons has Lyme disease, and it seems that yours came in reverse. You got the Lyme disease first and the Morgellons later.
Yep.
Not everybody who has Lyme disease, as we typically know of being infected, the first sign with a bullseye rash, not everybody affected that way with a tick gets Morgellons. In fact, probably very few. The Lyme disease that we generally have is never identified, becomes chronic. It's never, the bullseye rash is never ever seen. So it's associated with Lyme disease. And with Morgellons, that's when we get into the different protocols that we have. Like, for instance, Ethel, our coach, could tell you how to do a head wrap. You want to have your head almost in a bath, but you can't put your head in a bath because you could get the water into your eyes and affect your eyes, and that's bad news. It could be very bad news. So we have several creams and lotions. There's just Claudia's Dream Cream. There's the Nature's Gift. We have Nature's Gift shampoo. We have peppermint. We have Super MS gel. Many people make up their own mixture of those four items and put them into their hair, saturate it, put a skull cap on, sleep in it overnight, and even do it during the day 2 or 3 times. If you need to go out, Ethel had suggested that you can get a cancer cap on Amazon so that you're not walking around with a bathing cap on your head.
Yeah. Or a plastic bag.
Or a plastic bag. You can do that, and you have to, and Robin mentioned earlier, aggression is the answer. You're in a war. It's like you're in a boxing ring, and you throw the first punch. Don't expect your opponent to go down. Your opponent's going to punch back. You're going to punch back again. You're in a fight for your life. You want to get out of this hole.
Yeah.
You have to do things over and over and over again. Nothing is going to be a cure.
And when you get rid of all the symptoms and you feel your head is clear and you're only doing it once a day, you still do it because eggs can still be there. Now, the other thing about your home, if you still have fungal issues, we have just happened upon antimicrobial. We just added it to the store last week, and this week we're going to be adding a concentrate. What we added to the store and have now is what's called ready to use. You can spray it, or you can put it in an electrostatic sprayer and disperse it. But it is it's a molecule. And one side, once it dries, one side is adhesive. It adheres to whatever it's sprayed onto. You can use it in your laundry as well. When it dries, it will adhere to the fabric. And on the other side of the molecule are carbon spikes, 1,000th the size of a human hair, so that any fungal organism that touches it will be gotten rid of.
Yeah.
So it destroys viruses, bacteria, anything in a microscopic level. Whether or not it will deal with the early organisms after they're born from eggs of Columbella and mites, I don't know, but it's worth definitely for dealing with the fungal issues around the home.
Richard, could I
so
just
you can
have
spray that on walls,
quick...
ceilings, anywhere it might be. After you clean it, you have to clean the wall first, or the ceiling.
Could I just a quick question, because I'm a rookie here? Just, it feels like it's like fiberglass growing in instead of hair. Is that so?
Shards.
Yeah.
They're called shards. Morgellons is defined, basically people with it often say that it feels like they're sleeping on shards of glass. That under the skin, the itching is under the skin, not on the skin. And last week or the week before, we looked at research that said by scratching your skin, you create a situation in the gut that actually contributes to leaking gut syndrome. So it's like these organisms have a way of self-perpetuating.
Right.
Am I doing the right thing by shaving it off? That's the thing.
Sure, you can shave it off. Some people maintain their hair and treat it. Others shave it off and treat it and let it grow back later. The thing is to get rid of it. If removing your hair helps, by all means, do so.
Definitely makes it easier to treat your head with less hair.
Yeah, it's up to you.
And that's why it makes it feels like a cradle cap, right? Because it's the biofilm.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And so that's where the kinase enzymes will come in. It will help break up that biofilm.
And it's in the book, how to do that?
Oh, yes. It's all detailed in the book.
And
it's in our blog. The thing about the book is not just a book. The book is a reference. So when it gets into things like lefiniran and discussing kinase enzymes, both of those subjects could take 10 pages each. And we have blog posts about them. So you'll see a link. You'll see it spelled out. Now, our main blog site is bestmorgellonscure.com, and then after that is capital blog, B-L-O-G, capital B-L-O-G, and a hyphen. Yes. So the only thing you have to look at is after the hyphen. So it might say lefiniran 1, lefiniran 2, chitinase 1. So that's the only thing you really got to look at, because once you're in the blog, all you got to do is type in that end and the end of the URL, and it will take you right to the blog post where it defines and explains things in more detail.
Okay, thank you.
And that's also the benefit of having the downloaded book, because the links are live and you can just click on the link.
Right.
In the downloaded book, it'll take you right there.
Okay.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no place you're going to find more information, more up-to-date information than with this resource.
Yeah. Wow.
And after you read it, please give me a 5-star review.
I definitely will. Once I read it, definitely. I'm hanging on everybody's word, so I appreciate this call. Thank you.
Thank you for being on.
Keep coming back.
Keep coming back.
Lynn from California.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
My 5-star review was sent to you months ago.
Thank you.
That's where I stand. I love this. If this wasn't here, I'd probably be dead right now. But anyway, I'm still trucking. I got the fungal issue. I got the fungal issue bad. So I got to get on with it.
If you take baths and you add a cup of apple cider vinegar, it greatly reduces any issues with fungus.
Good.
Yes, apple cider vinegar is the key. Now, if you apply apple cider vinegar to your skin, if you have no fungus, you won't feel anything. If you have fungus on your skin, it will burn like hell. And that's what you want. You want to get rid of it.
Okay. All right.
I'll
let it burn like hell.
Yeah, well, think about it. If you're only putting 1 cup in the bath and it makes a huge difference, you might have to dilute it into a spray bottle for your skin, because it is very powerful. Just saying.
Well, I usually mix it in with a pitcher of water, apple cider vinegar, soak my fingers in it. I'm trying to get better.
Well, I think soaking your fingers, you could probably do 100%, or white vinegar would also work.
Mm-hmm. Somehow the apple cider vinegar has magical effects over the white vinegar, but yeah,
right.
White vinegar is a disinfectant.
I've got so much vinegar. I've been bottling up on it. I'm not going to be out of vinegar, man.
That's good.
But now vinegar is a long time, what do you call the word, home remedy to consume, and it is fantastic for Morgellons. But again, if you're dealing with Columbella, it will feed Columbella. So you have to be careful about consuming apple cider vinegar.
Right. You can use it in the bath and on your skin, but don't eat it.
If you have both of them.
Right.
Yes, if you have Columbella as well.
I think I have everything. So
now, Columbella, there is no test for it. And again, the experts, the epidemiologists, the zoologists, the people who study bugs will tell you that Columbella cannot exist on skin and live on your skin. They will say that they do not even have the mouth parts to bite. Robin mentioned earlier there are about 19 species that have been found on human skin. So so there must be something that these people don't know.
Right. Right.
Maybe they studied the other 5,880 species and missed the 19. I don't know.
We can't tell that, can we? No.
I don't know. So, thank you. Anyone else like to share or ask a question?
This is Dottie from Pennsylvania. All of my vitamins are gummies, so I can't use those, right, for vitamins?
No.
Give them to your children, or save them for when you're on stage 3 of the diet or whatever. But definitely out. The only vitamin I suggest is the one that we have at the store. I've looked for vitamins for 20-some years. Early on, the Complete Nutritional System, I promoted. We used that one, and it was about as good as they could get. But then they stopped producing it because, I don't know, the Complete Nutritional System was for everybody. Teenagers, older people, everybody, but now they're getting generic. So they have vitamins for teens, and they have vitamins for women, and they have vitamins for older women, and they have vitamins for older men. And all of them got ingredients in it that feed the organisms. So I lucked out about maybe 6-8 months ago. We found this one multiple vitamin formulated for Lyme disease. It has absolutely no ingredients that could be an issue.
Okay. Another question, the antimicrobial, if you spray it on your furniture that is material and it dries, isn't it going to lock in the...
Well, you might want to clean it first, whatever the instructions are, whatever type of fabric you have, you're going to want to maybe clean it and then spray it. And then anything that, because it can be used in clothing, so anything that is microbial in size that is going to touch that surface of your furniture is going to be destroyed.
Okay. Thank you.
And now the good thing about this is, like, if you put it in your laundry, one treatment is all you ever need for the life of the laundry.
Wow.
If you spray it on a countertop, you might spray it, you might need to treat it every 30 or 60 days. If you spray it on a doorknob, you might want to treat the doorknob every 30 days. It can only be removed through abrasion. So, like if you spray it on your kitchen table, you can wash it, you can wipe it with ammonia, you can use anything on it that you want except the scrubbing powders or anything abrasive. That will remove it.
Great, thank you.
Anyone else like to ask a question or share?
Lynn from California.
Yes.
I have a quick question.
I'm sorry,
About the
go ahead.
fungal. I'll be quick. I'm quick. The fungal apple cider vinegar, when you say the fungal part, it should sting and burn, and that's good, right?
Right.
That's an indication that you have skin fungus. Skin fungus is usually identified through burning. You feel a burning feeling, reddish burning, and then when you apply the apple cider vinegar, it's going to burn like hell. So
thank you. That's where I am right now. I appreciate your. I'm muting myself because I have to suffer. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Amen.
Bye. Anyone else like to share? Someone else want to ask a question?
Richard, I'd like to ask a question.
Yes.
Yes, Rhoda from San Diego. I need
Rhoda.
to know what your I need to know what your spray is that you put on furniture, doorknobs. Is it the NG soap?
No. This is an antimicrobial. It has nothing. It is the interesting thing is it's carbon, but it's a different form of carbon. It when it dries, it's solid in the form of spikes.
Okay, is it expensive to use?
No, it's not that expensive. How it comes out now, if you buy the ready-to-use from us, it's about $2 and maybe 20 or 30 cents an ounce. This week we're going to be coming out with the concentrate in a little 2-ounce bottle. So a little 2-ounce bottle will make 30 ounces of ready-to-use. And that will be about, that comes out to $1 an ounce for the ready-to-use. So it'll be half the price of what you'd be paying for the larger bottle that's ready to use, 16 ounces.
That's great. Richard, can I give my cell phone number in case people want to text a question?
Also, what is the name of the blog site again?
The blog's, it's called Best Morgellons Cure. Best, like the best man at a wedding, morgellonscure.com.
All right.
/ and at the top you'll see the links to the blog. So you click on that link, and then you'll see all the blogs opening up. But if you're reading the hardcover, the softcover copy, and it makes a reference, all you have to do is put in a dash and what that last word is. Whether it be dopamine or whatever it is.
Whatever you're looking for.
Hello.
Right. Yeah.
And are you saying that this antimicrobial is a new thing that you got?
Right.
What is it called? What is it called now?
Antimicrobial.
It's called Surface Guard 90 antimicrobial.
Surface Guard 90.
Yeah, if you go into our store, go to the disinfection tab, and that page opens. It's at the bottom of that page because it's new.
I guess you can't put it on your skin, can you?
Not recommended, no. Not recommended.
So you would have to be. So when you sit down, are you going to get it on your skin?
No, it dries.
It dries, and it won't get on your skin, no.
It dries pretty quickly.
You can wear clothing that you've put it in, and it won't get. The clothing that you wear is going to protect your skin from microbials.
And how quickly does it dry? Instantly?
Well, it's going to dry in if you're spraying it on a surface, it's going to dry in the amount of time that the water's going to dry. So if you spray lightly, it's going to dry in maybe 10 or 15 minutes. If you saturate it, it's going to dry in a half hour.
Okay.
And in clothes, you use it in the laundry, and then you run them through the dryer, so it's dry, you know,
Right.
when you take them out.
And
Very
that's
good,
fantastic
very good.
because any fungal organisms on your skin that come in contact with it are going to be destroyed.
And you just got this, you say?
What?
Yes,
You
you just
did a
got
new
it.
product? That's
It's new.
amazing, because we were thinking of what to spray on things, and I was thinking, you know, that colloidal silver, and I didn't know what to do.
But, you know, the microbial, we don't know. It probably won't work for bigger organisms. It's for teeny, tiny. So,
yeah, it's not going to work for carpet beetles or bed bugs or mites, but it might work, and we don't know this, it might work for the nymphs, the larvae. We don't know.
Some mites are microscopic, and it would probably work for them.
Yes.
You know, but we don't know. We don't have enough information yet.
So I have another question. Our daughter has been battling this with mold in her where she lives, and so if her hair is very fine and curly and you know, she gets these sores. And so what can she do for that? Her cats have her tummy is bald. What can they do? What can she do for the cat or herself?
Well, for the environment, she wants to, in any areas that are mold, she needs to be clean it with ammonia, and then spray it with the antimicrobial. Her clothing needs to be treated with the antimicrobial.
Okay.
Internally, it's the lefinaurin and the kinase enzymes.
Okay.
Now, the cat she can give the cat what's called Program, and it's Lefinaurin for pets. You give it to them once a month in their food. And there's also Seresto collar that lasts 8 months, and pyrethrin flea dip for dogs and cats that you can do.
Mhm. Okay.
This is Briar from Kentucky.
Hello?
Hello?
I'm sorry,
yes,
Briar from Kentucky.
What?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Is this Briar? Hi.
I'm sorry. What?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, what's the question?
Yeah. Okay. I just recently ordered Lefinaurin. I also ordered the laundry soap and the NG laundry soap as well, so I'm excited to get that. I'm taking your vitamins and your Garcilin and your Max One. I have a question about the Garcilin. It says on it that it has maltodextrin in it, non-GMO maltodextrin. And I thought that
it does. Initially, I was concerned about that. Over the years, it doesn't seem to have been an issue. But there's also Garcilin 2, and as I recall, I don't think the Garcilin
Garcilin 2 doesn't have it.
Chris, can you get rid of that background noise?
Garcilin 2 doesn't have the maltodextrin.
Right. So if it's a concern, you may want to switch to Garcilin 2. We recommend people go to Garcilin 2 anyway because it's more powerful than Garcilin 1. And we recommend people start on Garcilin 1 because you can have detox reactions pretty quick with this stuff. So we don't want people starting with a much more powerful Garcilin. We want you to work up to it.
I have a question.
Yes.
This is Joanna from Iowa. I'd like to know more about that antimicrobial spray. How much would you put in your laundry?
4 ounces for 12 pounds. 10 to 12 pounds, 4 ounces of the ready-to-use.
And how long would it remain with your clothing?
Forever. They say forever. One treatment's
Okay.
all you need.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else have a question or like to share? Well, let's do some stress management. We talked earlier about. Is there anybody on this call who has not been or is depressed, angry, upset, confused, uncertain? Uncertain is not a real high-level emotion, but it's there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year until there's a resolution. So it builds up. So these emotions actually trigger the sympathetic nervous system to varying degrees depending on the degree of the emotion or the accumulation of the emotion over time. And when the sympathetic nervous system is triggered, it creates hormones, adrenaline, noradrenaline, and epinephrine, and Robin mentioned earlier cortisol. These hormones are called the fight or flight hormones. Now, your body is ready. Your brain has prepared your body to either fight or run. Your blood pressure's elevated slightly or a large degree. Your heart rate goes up a little or to a large degree. Your sweat.
I thought I was able to call them. I'm so sorry.
Hello?
Hello? Could you,
Hello?
Chris, yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay.
Hi.
We're discussing. Hi.
Hello?
Please share after I go through this. We're going through something right now. So
okay.
Please stay tuned and share later. So
okay.
As I was saying, your body is ready to fight or run to some degree. And when it comes to skin parasites, there's nothing to run from and there's nothing to fight because they're too small. And if you move to Hawaii, one of my favorite places in the world, you take them with you, so you can't get rid of them. So it's important that you do something about this because there are several things that happen here. Another thing that happens is when you're in a fight or flight, your IQ drops. If your IQ comes down, where does your creativity go? Where goes your ability to solve problems? Like I said earlier, you may have 2 days feeling great and 1 day backslide. When you're on the backslide, you want creativity. You want intelligence. You want to figure out where that backslide came from. And the cortisol that's circulating releases blood sugar. And the thing that you want to eliminate in your diet is sugar. You want that out. Now, if you're only dealing with Columbella and not Morgellons, you can have sugar at stage 2. But stage 1, no sugar. So the goal is to induce the parasympathetic nervous system. And we do this by 2 different techniques, and one of them is called deep breathing. So take breaks throughout the day. There was a attachment to the email with a PDF or JPEG. Put that on your phone as your wallpaper. Have it remind you to do deep breathing every time you look at the phone. Every time you come to a stop sign or a red light when you're driving, do your deep breathing. Every time you catch yourself reacting and upset, do your deep breathing. So Robin's going to take us through a deep breathing exercise, and then we'll share and see how we feel. Some people find that deep breathing gets rid of chronic hypertension that they've had for 20 years just by learning to deep breathing and practicing it. Robin, it's all yours.
Okay, so for those of you who are new, you can either stand up. We're going to be doing deep breathing right now. Hi. You can either stand up straight, shoulders down, chin up. If you're sitting, make sure that both feet are on the floor, your back is straight, comfortable. We're going to be breathing in through our nose and holding it, and then breathing out through our mouth, and we are going to be breathing from our diaphragm, which is in our belly. So when you breathe, your shoulders do not go up, your belly goes out. It's like a bellows that's filling with air, and then when we exhale, it's slowly being squeezed out. Okay? I'm going to count for us. We're going to breathe in for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, and then exhale for 10 seconds. So sit up straight, relaxed, chin up, shoulders down. You're going to release the air in a cleansing breath. And we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold and focus on creativity. 3, 4, 5, and breathe out slowly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and breathe in peace. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold joy. 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe out anxiety and worry and stress. Let go of those things. 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe in happiness and smile while you're holding. 3, 4, 5. And breathe out peace and calm. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe in hopefulness, expectation. Something good is coming your way. And hold on to that thought. 2, 3, 4, 5. And breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe out. Imagine your house is clear. Your clothes are clear. Your car is clear. 9, 10, and breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, sorry, my cat just came over and knocked over everything next to me during our breathing. He's like, it's dinner time, hello.
I wish I was on the video. I can't see that.
Yeah, well, you couldn't see what he knocked over, but I'm sure you could hear it. He knocked over my phone, the book, my papers. Yeah. God bless my cat.
Okay. Anyone like to share? If you, how do you feel now in comparison to where you were? Anybody using that deep breathing?
Hello.
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 Hello. Hello. Hi, this is Zoraida Romero. I'm from Pennsylvania.
Hi, we don't use last names.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
fine.
new to this. I am new to this. And
Welcome.
Hi. I'm new to this. I'm into this for months, and I'm completely lost. I don't know what to do. I have crawling in my hair, my body.
Have you been on the call, or did you just join in?
I just joined in. I just went.
Okay, you're going to want to listen. You're going to want to listen to the call. After the call is done, within an hour or so, I will put up a link where you can go listen to the call, because what you're asking we've already discussed.
So the call starts at 4 o'clock every Sunday?
Yes, the call
Eastern
starts
time?
at 4 p.m.
And the first thing you're going to want to, are you on Richard's email list?
Richard,
Yes,
she
I
was on. She was on the call from the beginning.
Oh, she was. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to want to listen to the call again, because we discussed it in detail.
And you want to at least download the book and start reading and start the diet. Those are the first steps.
I went into Richard's website and I ordered the brightening soap, and this is how I started.
You need to start with the diet and the book.
Are you on the diet? Have you started the diet?
I started eating like the eggs in the morning. Now I'm avoiding sugar.
Okay,
and
chapter 4 of the book is about the diet, and with the email that you got is a diet. So you want to read that diet and be very cautious, very careful that you eat only what's on the diet.
Okay.
And then it may take it may kick in right away. It may take a few weeks for it to kick in. But I always say, do the diet. Don't try the diet. Do the diet. If it hasn't kicked in, it's for one of several reasons, and they are outlined in the emails that go out.
Right, and it's not just avoiding sugar. There's a lot of hidden ingredients that create sugar in your body, and hidden sugars, and you really have to read labels. You have to read the diet section over and over. I encourage you to do that.
I really don't know what I'm suffering from. It's just I did crawling at night time.
Okay, then you want to complete the questionnaire. When you got the email, there were 4 attachments. One was for deep breathing. We just did that. One was tapping. One was for questionnaire, and one was a diet. So all that is there. Just open up the attachment and complete the questionnaire. If you don't have the ability to work with a DOCX or DOC file, email me and I'll email you the questionnaire. I cannot use PDF files. I can't work with them. I can't make notes on them.
They're not editable.
I can't make notes. So, and my memory's not that big to remember all the answers to all the questions.
Richard?
Yes.
This is Richard in Texas again. One thing I forgot to ask you, I'm on the King Diet Step 1, and I'm taking the Max 1 and glycerin, and I'm taking 2 of those a day. Is there another type of pill I should be taking? Because I know I can't take the vitamins until after I'm off stage 1, right?
No, you start with the vitamins right away.
There's a stage 1 multivitamin.
Yes, there are, for the basic package is the vitamins, the minerals, the glutathione accelerator Max 1, and the Garcillin. That's the basic package. We start you with the regular Garcillin, and then maybe after a month go to Garcillin 2.
Okay, because see, I'm only taking 2 Garcillin, the regular Garcillin a day, and then 1 Max 1. I guess I was thinking that I misread it. I guess I thought the multivitamin was to be taken after stage 1.
No. So, have you completed the questionnaire and sent it in for an evaluation?
Yes, I think I did. I think I did.
All right. Send me your first and last name in the email. I'll look it up, and I'll send you the protocol again. Everything is spelled out in very detail in your protocol.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello?
Okay, anyone else like to share or ask a question?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
This is Palma. I have two things. Do I have you, Richard, or not? I hear
You
a
have
voice.
me. Yes.
Oh, okay. Way cool. The debriding soap has come, the mother load, and I'm so pleased. But I also, it makes a difference. It really does help with biofilm and the cleanliness feeling. But I also brush my teeth with it. And I do that because these damn threadworms were coming out of my gums. And it stopped it. It stopped
Can someone
it.
mute that, the background noise?
Yes.
So I have to extol the virtues of the debriding soap. It's essential. The other thing is very important to me because, of course, you know I have the cats. I bought a fogger from Cedarside, and they have one for tick shield. Can you recommend a different type of thing that may cut down the numbers for me?
Can I interrupt for a minute?
Yes.
First, I wanted to say that Richard sells a Nature's Gift mouthwash, which you swish around in your mouth and then you can actually swallow, that is designed for your teeth and your gums and to clean your mouth. And it's not very expensive, and it's an amazing product. And in my experience, Cedarside and fogging never did anything. So what is it that you, and also cats are sensitive to that. So that.
Well, I wouldn't. I'm a horticulturist, so I wouldn't do it with cats. I'd make sure they were safe.
Okay.
Is there something much stronger? A pesticide, I'm sorry, something.
Yes, there is. There's a whole bunch of them in the book, in protocols. I mean, there's a triple pesticide. You can use, if ammonia doesn't work, you're welcome to call or text me. I'm going to give my numbers later, and I've tried a whole bunch of them and found very specific ones that work for specific things. So
yes, there's the ozone machine. There's also an electrostatic sprayer. Now, electrostatic sprayer is a lot more effective than fogging. In fact, the sprayer has two settings. One is fog, and the other one is electrostatic spray, just to show you the difference, because the fogging doesn't go everywhere, whereas the electrostatic sprayer, if you spray at a table, it'll go under the table without you even spraying under the table. Wherever that goes, it's going to attach. Now, you can use the enzymes. We have enzymes in the store. You can use them in the electrostatic sprayer, or you can use them in regular spray. You can use the antimicrobial. You can mix the antimicrobial and the enzymes because, as we said earlier, we're not sure how impactful the antimicrobial will be with larger organisms. So you can mix them.
Oh, that's good to know.
We also have a disinfectant in the store that is called Benefact. It's thyme-based. So that can also be used either as a spray or in the electrostatic sprayer.
Thank you,
the Benefact is cleared for COVID-19. The antimicrobial is not it's EPA registered, but it has not been lab tested for COVID-19. But it has been lab tested for viruses. So the bottom line is it's a sharp spike, and anything that touches it, it's going to destroy it.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
But God bless you both. Thank you, Richard. You've given me hope that I've lost. I was in despair.
We are here for one purpose: is to provide insight and
inspiration.
Thank you, Robin. I lost my purpose. And we like to have a good laugh because laughter is good. It's healing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So find your favorite YouTube channel that has the kind of comedy that you like and get addicted to it and watch it at least once every day. Stay away from Facebook. There's nothing good on Facebook.
Right. I'm not the type, but I like ridiculousness. On MTV, ridiculousness. That makes me laugh.
So, Jason, can you hear me? We could write a book. Laugh yourself to freedom.
Richard?
Yes.
Jason?
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I had to come in really late. I had to take my mom to something, so I wanted to just chime in real quick. I want to thank, I believe it's Robin and Barbara. I was speaking to them during the week, and they gave me some really good advice as far as the crawling that a lot of people have. And for some reason, after I talked to you guys last week, the crawling became intense. So I don't know if there's like a crawling witch on this phone call, but it came up to the point where I could not take it. And I just, what I used is, because I ordered Richard's soap. I'm assuming Richard's soap will take that away on its own once I get it. But I did speak to, I believe, Robin, and we concocted a cocktail, a potion of different oils, peppermint, neem, tea tree, and coconut oil. And I put it on, and honestly, it was the weirdest thing, because I put it on, and I'm not kidding, like 5 minutes later, I see these white things coming out of my skin.
Right.
Like, I can't explain it. It almost scared me, because I'm like, what are these things coming out of my arm? I just kind of tested it on my arm, and then I used it on my whole body. Now, I didn't take it all the way, and I'll be honest with you, I did try the King diet. It's not like Richard said, either you do it or you don't do it, because I did it, and then I'm like, okay, let me just grab that bagel. I'll start it up again tomorrow, and then you're like,
man, you're good at making jokes.
Well, I'm trying to make light, but it's not light.
No, I know. Well, we learned the hard way.
Yeah,
I did the same thing.
Start the diet like Richard said, because I know I used to do Atkins. If you go off of one thing, you're on square one again as far as carbohydrates. The bugs like me, and I had the crawling sensation. I couldn't sleep. I felt like I was infested with, like in a science fiction movie.
Right.
Next day, I spoke to Robin. We concocted this blends of herbs, which I sprayed on my body. Now it's not cheap. These herbs are, $10, $20. You can make enough of it. But I'm hoping that Richard's soap will take care of the crawling sensation.
Well,
the baths
three
will help.
The 3 baths a day are going to be important, with the only a capful of the 100% or 2 capfuls of the 50% in the tub, along with one of the disinfectants. Now, if you want to take those oils over the moon, mix them with the NG and apply it to your skin, and that will take them over the moon.
I'm not a big oil fan, so I'm just kind of thinking. I don't have a bath, so I have to shower. So I guess a shower, I'll put the NG on and leave it on there for a time.
You could let it dry on it. I mean, rinse it off one time.
Yeah, you want to lather up and turn off the shower for about 3 minutes, and then rinse off.
And then put it on again and let it dry.
Right. And then as far as the hair, I've been using, I know they're in my hair. Like, I'm scared to death to get a microscope to actually see what's on my bed, and like, if you see something that might be a bug, and God forbid I got a really good microscope to see it's an actual bug that I'm, because I wake up in the morning with looks like little bugs, but it could be stuff on my feet. You don't know until you get a good microscope.
No, probably not.
So, getting back to the hair, I've been having problems with my hair. I used only thing I could have with me was, Army is I have Clean Green. So I let that sit on for 15 minutes, and it helped a little bit. I used a very fine comb, combing out like these white things. Maybe it's dandruff, maybe it's eggs. I don't know.
Could be columbola.
Yeah, we covered the hair earlier. Quick recap: Super MSM gel, peppermint oil, Claudia's Dream Cream, our Nature's Gift shampoo. Make a mixture, massage it into your hair, put a skull cap on, keep it on overnight, do that even during the day, 2 to 3 times if you can. I don't know if they make cancer caps for guys, but the skull cap, if you go out public, you want to maybe put something over it. Wear a regular hat or something.
Then I noticed also.
Well, you could even use a bandana.
A bandana,
or maybe a shower cap. But I don't really go out.
Yep.
I stay inside mostly and take care of my mom. So I'm not really worried about going out.
You want to saturate that area frequently. Be aggressive, and even when you feel nothing, a week from now, when you're only doing it once a day and you feel nothing, still do it, because there are eggs that you need to take care of.
Right.
Gotcha. And the last
thanks
thing
for joining in.
that I know
you got to the call.
I woke up really this morning. I noticed some of my eyebrow was missing, where one of the little creatures were biting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, are they like eating my hair, or eating my eyebrow hairs, or eggs in my eyebrows? So I think it's another area that people need to watch out for, especially me, because I do have eyebrow dandruff, and they might be in there. And I was just like, why is my eyebrow?
Crusty eyelids and eyebrows are often related with columbula.
Yeah, they either, I don't know if they're eating my hair or I maybe in the middle of the night picking at it and not knowing it, pulling out
whatever. So.
But anyway, I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank Robin so much for helping me during the week. I want to thank Barbara, which I spoke to. I don't know if she's on this call. We helped each other, and I'm going to be on this call hopefully again next Sunday full time with you guys.
Great.
Keep coming back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to share? Yes.
Yes, Richard, I'd like to know what's in your Dream Cream. Is there anything you can use in place of that if you don't have any Dream Cream? I have the problem with the scalp, with the hair. I had to shave my head.
There are a lot of essential oils in the Dream Cream. And
there's diatomaceous earth in the Dream Cream, shea butter in the Dream Cream, peppermint oil, lavender oil. You can create your own kind of Dream Cream, although I love Claudia's Dream Cream the best. But be creative. That's why we do deep breathing.
And is jojoba a good oil? Do you know?
What?
Jojoba oil.
Yeah, well, it's a basic oil. It doesn't necessarily have any impact on the mites. We use it in a base for our revitalization cream, but it's not specific for dealing with mites or the organisms.
All right.
I mean, oils help suffocate things on your skin because they can't breathe through the oil, but...
It's like shea butter and coconut oil. You know, it's a base.
And then is there anything you can put on, spray on your cat's fur? I would think that they could get this in their fur or their hair.
Absolutely. You can spray the enzyme cleaner. Richard has the Clean 'em Up Zymes. You can put it in a spray bottle or the electrostatic sprayer. I would spray it like a gentle shower over my cat, and he would just sit there. Yeah, I do that daily, actually, for my cat. But he's also on, Program and a Seresto collar and Adam's pyrethrin flea dip for dogs and cats.
It's awful hard to bathe a cat, though.
No, a flea dip is not a bath. So with this stuff, you take 1 capsule, you put it in 2 cups of water, and then you have another 2 cups of water that are clean, 2 washcloths. You hold the cat by the scruff of the neck like a mom cat holds the babies. You dip the washcloth in the stuff and you rub it all over them. You hold them for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you take a clean washcloth, clean water, and you wipe it off. And that's a flea dip. And it's not that hard to do. I've been giving my cat flea dips like once a month for a year now, and made a world of. He was losing all his hair, and he was itchy all the time, and he's like, it's like night and day.
Hey, if you'd like to write that up, Robin, be my guest. Maybe even a picture or two, and I'll put it out as an update.
All right. I don't have before pictures, but I do have the after picture.
of you doing the cat.
Right. Oh, doing the. Well, that's tough because I only have two hands. One's holding the cat.
I had that visualization in my mind.
I could take a picture of the cat, but I don't think I can take a picture.
Okay.
And is the flea dip available on your? You have that product?
Richard has sulfur dip, which you can try on your cat. It didn't work for my cat. Yeah, lime sulfur, which did not work for my cat. But I found this. You can get it at Chewy or Amazon or any place online. It's called Adam's Pyrethrin Dip for dogs and cats. And I know people say, well, pyrethrin, I can't say it. Permethrin.
You said it right the first time.
Is not good for cats. But this dip, I read all the reviews, and there's all these cat users who used it, and they gave me the recipe for it, and I've been using it with no problem at all.
And what is the recipe?
I just told you that.
Okay, so give me
capsule in 2 cups of water, and then 2 cups of clean water, 2 washcloths. I just gave you the whole protocol.
Okay. And if I need to find your YouTube, can I go on to YouTube and find it? Just going on to YouTube for this call?
I don't know.
No, you can call me.
Will have, the link will be published around the middle of the week.
And does the link take you to Amazon? I mean, to YouTube?
It will during the middle when it's put up. But after this call is over, I'll put the link up that you can watch it right away. It won't be on YouTube at that point.
All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
This is Beth. Hi.
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 Hey. So my question is about infected lesions. I've gotten Robin's input, and I'm going to try the coconut, neem, clove, peppermint. I've already tried Richard, your deep wound.
Can I interrupt you for a minute, Beth? I think the best thing, I love Richard's products, but Manuka honey, wound grade Manuka honey. It doesn't work fast, and it's a little messy and sticky, but I actually learned about it from a vet when my cat had a big wound on his skin, and it heals. It has to be wound grade, and if you text me, I can tell you the particular one. I had lesions that were like necrotic, and it healed them in under 2 weeks.
I heard someone told me about the Manuka honey this morning. My only concern with it is that I'm also definitely dealing with fungus, so I don't know.
It will kill the fungus. I mean, Manuka honey is antiviral, antibacterial, and it heals wounds.
Okay, so the sugar in the honey doesn't feed the fungus?
No, it's like a no, it's not. Nope, it won't affect the fungus. And
we also have another possibility is our nanoglutathione. Comes in a dropper, and you can apply it direct to the wound.
You open the pill.
I'm on the pill already. I haven't known at what
you
rate
can apply it to the wound though, not take it internally.
Okay.
See, we have two glutathiones. One is Max 1 that you take internally in a capsule form. The other one is nanoglutathione, which comes in a dropper, and you can take that sublingually under the thumb, or you can apply it right onto a lesion, a skin lesion.
Right, okay. And that'll help a lot.
Some people have said they make a paste out of the kinase enzymes because if there's biofilm involved, then the kinase enzymes and making a paste and applying that might work well too.
That's a cool idea. I saw that you had a MRSA like cleansing thing on your website. How is that? Like, I'm already doing the debriding soap and the body wash. How is that different? Because I did have staph on my feet for the past week.
Well, the MRSA cleanse is basically the diluted Nature's Gift with ionic minerals dissolved in. So it.
So I shouldn't. So I don't. So I basically already have a stronger version of it if I have the body wipe and the.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
And in fact, the mouthwash would be a stronger version.
Okay. That's what I did last night was mouthwash on there. So mouthwash is yeah.
Now, what I did for a Morgellons lesion that, wow, I couldn't believe within 24 hours the thing was like very deep. I used the deep wound cleanse with the. Did you use the cream with it? The exfoliant cream?
No, I didn't quite. I didn't.
Oh yeah, that's amazing stuff.
I just reread those directions and realized that was my missing step. So I'll reuse. I have the cream and I will use it.
Yeah, you use both of them.
Yeah, I didn't quite follow that when they came.
And with the if you do try the Manuka honey, you can also on top of it pat diatomaceous earth to keep it there without getting everything sticky and anything that comes out of the wound, the diatomaceous earth will kill.
So there you have about 6 different things, and I'm sure that at least 3 or 4 of them are going to make a difference for you.
And that's how you use the book.
What's that?
I have a question.
Yes.
When you take the apple cider vinegar bath, do you put the Nature's Gift in as well, or just?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
You see, the Nature's Gift is going to deep clean your skin, and it's going to bring the fungus out of the skin fungus. It's going to remove it. Now, if you don't use the apple cider vinegar, the fungus will just go someplace else and cover your skin entirely. I mean, if you don't use the apple cider vinegar, the Nature's Gift bath is going to make you worse, and you're going to say it doesn't work.
Right.
But if you use the apple cider vinegar, it's going to destroy the fungus. The idea of the disinfectants in the bath, like borax and Epsom salt and things like that, and peppermint, is to be like a disinfectant to destroy the organisms that the Nature's Gift extracts from your skin.
Right, but I've been using just the peppermint oil and the Nature's Gift, but while on your call, I decided to try the apple cider on my skin, and it definitely burns. So I'm thinking.
Then you're dealing with skin fungal issues, and you want to use that in the bath.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I don't think the peppermint oil is going to do a lot in the bath for the skin fungus, but the apple cider vinegar will.
And you think? And I ordered Lufeneron, and so you think that compiled with the Garcilin and the vitamin and everything else should be the trick?
Well, if you're dealing fungal, you want the kinase enzymes as well.
Yeah, I'm taking them too.
Okay, so you're pretty well covered.
Just remember
everything
takes time.
After I take my bath, how do I disinfect the tub?
You could spray it with ammonia, or you can spray it with bleach and then wipe it down.
Okay. Thank you
even,
so much.
You can spray it with the ammonia and let it sit a while and then rinse it off.
Right, yeah, it's a good idea to let it sit. Don't wipe it down right away or rinse it right away.
Bleach is good in the drains, but the thing is that bleach can make little holes, tiny holes in things. It eats away at surfaces, and parasites love little holes in things to burrow into.
Yeah, I vote for ammonia 10 times over bleach.
Me too.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else like to ask a question? Yes.
I wanted to ask a follow-up question on that. If we do clean the shower with ammonia, could we just rinse it instead of like rinsing it down, 20 minutes later or whatever? Could we just rinse it before we shower the next day, or is the rinsing part to like get rid of the eggs and stuff, or is it just so that we're not absorbing the ammonia when we bathe?
Well, the ammonia is going to evaporate on its own after about 20 minutes. So the rinse is just to get rid of whatever it has killed, whatever is there to clean it.
Okay.
And that would be a perfect time to do the antimicrobial after you do the ammonia. But I would wipe it down after 20 minutes. I wouldn't just rinse it. I would wipe it down, and then I would spray the antimicrobial. Mm-hmm. Because the ammonia is not going to get rid of any soap scum.
Right.
Mhm. Okay.
Good point.
Could I ask a quick question, 2 quick questions, Richard?
Sure.
This is Ginger from Boston. What would you suggest regarding the chronic Lyme? Do I treat the chronic Lyme first or the Morgellons first? And I'm on disulfiram, and that's really been helping. And disulfiram, I don't know if you already know this or not, but it hates anything fermented, and it hates apple vinegar. Hates anything that Morgellons basically that would help me. So I'm kind of working.
Well, I'm not familiar with that, but number one, you would use our Columbula Lyme Pack. That's the multiple vitamin, the minerals, the Garcillin, and the Max 1. And then you would add the kinase enzymes to that.
And remember, you're not eating the apple cider vinegar. You're using it in a bath. You're not ingesting it.
Oh, disulfiram is something that's it's being used for Lyme disease, and it's helping people with with chronic Lyme, disulfiram. And unfortunately, you can't have. It's an old drug for alcoholism, antabuse. So they've refurbished it for Lyme disease, and so anything alcohol it's.
But you don't eat those things. You're not drinking.
Oh, no,
you're not.
Yeah. Oh no.
You're putting it on your skin.
I know. Unfortunately, with the disulfiram, it's external too. It's internal, external, and external for no alcohol or fermented.
Okay.
So it makes things complicated. So I'm not sure what to treat first because the disulfiram is really helping, and I have Babesia, which was attacking my heart.
Well, I don't understand why you why do you think that the disulfiram would be a problem with anything that we talked about?
Oh, the disulfiram is just since it's a drug that was given to alcoholics to curb their alcoholism. It's basically anything to do with alcohol. Disulfiram, you have a strong reaction internally.
Right. So nothing we're talking about is alcohol related. So nothing that I'm suggesting or recommending that you take would be counter it. In fact, if anything, what you're doing, it would help everything that they would work together.
Okay, because it just said that we're not.
Vinegar has no alcohol in it.
Apple cider vinegar
has no alcohol in it.
Oh, so but with the disulfiram, you're not supposed to have anything vinegar with disulfiram. So I'm trying
internally,
to figure out
right?
No, she said you can't put it on your skin.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't put it on your skin? All right, in that, then use oregano oil. I don't know how many drops, but oregano oil will work is another option to deal with fungal issues on the skin.
Just be careful because it'll burn if you use it too strong.
So I don't. And now when you mix the oregano oil, you mix it with a Nature's Gift first. So you take a capful, not all the way full of the Nature's Gift. Well, I'll tell you what. You put maybe 5 or 6 drops of the oregano oil in the cap, and then you add in the Nature's Gift, and use a toothpick or something to stir it up a little bit, and then you add that to the water. And then you'll have to experiment to see if that's enough oregano oil, if you want to use more or less. But oregano oil can be used in place of apple cider vinegar for skin fungus.
And you're saying on the scalp too? Is that what it is? And so if I did that, how?
For the scalp, we didn't talk about using apple cider vinegar there. For Magellan's, we talked about the Dream Cream and the MSM gel and stuff like that.
Okay. And how long does it generally, like a guesstimate, does it take for the natural hair, my own natural hair, to grow back instead of the morgue that's growing now?
I have no idea.
It can take up to 2 months if you're doing everything right.
Okay. I will try to do everything right, definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Anyone else like to share or ask a question before we have our drawing and close for the day?
Yes, I'd like to ask if the red light is the same as, Robin would know this, if it's the same as the other kind of sauna that they use.
Is it the same as what?
The sauna that's the red light.
I've heard that red light saunas are the same as red light therapy, but I don't know anything about red light saunas. I know someone on the call had one and texted me and said that it actually got organisms out of her skin, and I'm sure that that's, I fully believe that, but all I have is a little $40 red light that has 3 different frequencies of red light therapy in it that I use daily. And
what brand?
Well, there's all different brands. They range in price from $40 to $2,000. So you figure out your budget, and then you read the reviews. Find something that you can afford that everyone says works. That's what I did. I don't remember the brand. I bought just a red light bulb for $40, and I bought a light bulb holder that I clip onto the headboard of my bed, and I sit under it. 20 minutes a day is what they recommend. I'm like I do 10 minutes each side, so I do 10 minutes and then I roll over and do 10 minutes on the other side, and it's helped a lot.
Do you still do it?
Yes. I mean, I'll probably, it boosts your immune system, it enhances your skin, it helps your hair to grow back, it does so many good things. Red light therapy is awesome, I think.
Did you lose all your hair or most of it?
No, but I had a lot of hair falling out. And I started the red light therapy, and the Max 1 started my hair growing back, and it started growing back in darker. And then I started doing the red light therapy also, and took a couple of months, and my hair became very full again.
And did it change its color back to normal?
I don't know if it's, I mean, I had gray hair at that point and with black roots, and now it's dark roots and blonde, so I don't know what normal is, but I like my hair the way it is.
And I like mine too.
Robin, do you recommend a certain detox, Robin, that you do, like a sauna or?
Saunas are great. I don't go anywhere. I'm pretty isolated during COVID. I don't go to a gym anymore. I don't have a sauna in my house. I have done the diatomaceous earth detox, and that's about the only detox I really do. I take all the vitamins and the minerals and.
Yeah, last week's YouTube was about internal parasites in the form of helminths, which are like hookworms, whipworms, pinworms, flatworms, tapeworms, and that was quite detailed. We talked about diatomaceous earth, consuming the mouthwash, and fenbenzidol is the approach. And that's, if you look at that YouTube video, that's the first thing you want to do.
And I did the mouthwash and the diatomaceous earth. The diatomaceous earth, I did it at the beginning of dealing with all this, and it was really intense. And I had every kind of worm imaginable come out of my body. It was horrifying. but I haven't had an issue since then. So I haven't. I love the mouthwash, though. I really do.
Is there anywhere we can find the
how long
YouTube
did it
video?
take for you
Is it up?
Well, the email that went out that announced today's program, if you scroll down, it has a list of all the YouTube videos and the subject matter that was handled in the video, the main subject matter.
Okay. So it
the links are
consistently
there.
Remains up?
Yeah,
the
YouTube's going to be up forever.
Oh, good. Okay. And it's under a certain. Is it under the program? Is it under Beth Morgellon Pure or?
The email that went out that you got that announced this program, just scroll down, click on the link, and it'll take you right there.
Oh, I'll just give my email. Somebody gave me this number in the group, so I'll just.
Richard, why don't you give your email and she can email you?
Yes, email me at KNIC. Do you have pencil or paper or something?
Yep, hold on. What's K? Oh, let's see.
KNIC.
The number 2.
Number 2?
At Verizon.net. .net, not
Verizon.
.com, .net.
.net.
And just request to be added to our mailing list. I'll put you in our mailing list, and then you'll get all the emails.
Okay, and that lowercase or anything? Or?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad to have you join in.
Appreciate it.
Anyone else have a question you'd like to ask or share before we close?
Lynn from California. Does this mean that we get to be famous on YouTube? Woohoo!
Your voice does.
Oh, goody. Hey, they don't want to look at my face right now or my fungal nails. But I'm going to be on YouTube.
Maybe we'll evolve to the point that anybody can join on video that likes. So I'm not sure, but at this point I can't even get on video. So
I know. Well, today I'm the only one who actually has a video, so you guys are me.
Robin and her cat spilling things.
Exactly.
Yeah. You need the rat for the cat to chase so it doesn't put their stuff over.
Yeah, I
love
know.
Tail.
Technology doesn't always give me a problem, but sometimes it does.
Technology ain't up my. I don't even know what it is.
Someone else has a question. Someone else has a question.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm new and I've been listening. I haven't said anything because I haven't known what to say, but I'm totally lost and I'm beyond hope.
Do you have the book?
I don't know what to do.
Do you have the book?
No, I was going to order it, but I'm at a point where I just don't know where to go, what to do.
Okay, you fell in a hole that all of us have fallen in. Despair, frustration, aggravation, and all that.
It's worse than that. I'm in so much pain, and I'm getting sicker and sicker. And I thought somebody.
All right, we got to start somewhere. We got to start somewhere. You're in this hole. The first place to start is by reading the book, and it's overwhelming. And tuning into these calls, and keep coming back. Don't give up, and starting the diet. All that we can't do for you. You have to do. If you read something or you're looking at the diet and you're confused, you email me or then you contact Robin, and then we'll clarify things. That's how we each get out of the hole. But the book is the tool that's going to get you out of the hole along with the diet.
Right. Can I give my contact info?
No, don't give your contact info because I don't want YouTube people calling you with stupid stuff.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, so we'll give you contact after we stop the recording.
When you went back, I'm feeling like I need a coach because I'm beyond.
We all need coaches. The first thing the coach is going to tell you to do is read the book. Can't do that for you. We can't spoon feed you. Read the book. And if you have questions, then email us. The next thing the coach is going to tell you to do, and I'm your coach, is start the diet. You got to read the book. You got to read the diet. You got to know about it, and then you're going to make mistakes, And then, as Mary Fran said earlier, if you have a question about something, you email me. You send me the label, and I'll read it for you, and I'll tell you whether it'll be good or not. But you have to get out of the hole. We can't. We're
giving
maybe
you
1,000 miles
tools.
away. What?
I said we're giving you tools.
The problem is that I don't know what I have, and it's eating away at me. It literally is eating.
It doesn't matter what you have. We deal with all of it. You send in the questionnaire. That's another thing. There's a questionnaire. You complete it. And when you complete it, you'll get a complete, detailed protocol. Everything you need is in the book. But to get your own protocol, it could take you a month to figure it out. So you answer about 50 questions. Don't send me pictures. Please don't send me pictures. Pictures don't tell me if you feel things jumping. Pictures don't tell me if your skin is burning. Pictures don't tell me if you feel things around your ankles or your lower legs. Pictures don't tell me a lot of stuff. Pictures could be anything. So don't send me videos and don't send me pictures. Just complete the questionnaire and send me that. That tells me everything.
Well, should I get the questionnaire so I can get something going?
Email me. Do you get our emails, or you're on our list?
I'm brand new. I haven't done anything.
But do you get emails from me?
How did you find out about the call?
A person gave me the number to call.
Okay. Do you have paper and pencil handy?
Hold on, please. Okay.
K as in kick, N as in Nancy, I as in ice, C as in cat, number 2 at Verizon.net. As soon as I get that, I'll send you the e-book, enroll you to receive the updates. You'll be able to access all the information. You'll get the questionnaire. You complete the questionnaire, and we'll have you rolling. We'll have you on your way.
Maybe I should order the book because I'm not computer literate.
You'll have a link to the store. You'll have a link to the store. You can go in the store and order the book. Or you can go on Amazon. Amazon, it costs you a little more there, but Amazon, and just type in Morgellons books.
Okay. Well, how do I get the link to your store now?
You have to email them.
Parasite store.
Okay.
Just Parasite, the word Parasite, then the word store. .com.
ParasiteStore.com.
Yes.
Okay. So I can get the book from the store. Is there anything else that I could be saying before getting the book? Emailing you.
The first step is to get the book, start the diet, and then order the debriding soap for the bath.
Nature's Gift debriding soap.
Order Nature's Gift
debriding soap.
Soap, and put in apple cider vinegar.
But if you have fungus, but do the questionnaire, and as soon as I finish the questionnaire, you'll get everything. Everything easy, laid out. All you got to do is click on this. It'll take you to the page where you order whatever it is that you need.
Well, I'm at a point where I'm having trouble with everything because I'm so beaten down. I mean, as far as
I get that. Brain fog, difficulty thinking. That's why we were talking earlier when you're reading the book. Make Post-its, make notes, read the book, have another tablet, make outline, make copious notes, keep referring to them, let it sink in. It takes a while. It's twice as hard for you as it is for a normal person because of the brain fog and the effect that these organisms have on our brains, ability to concentrate.
Taking over my whole body. I read something on Joni Mitchell.
Yep.
Had it.
Yes, she still does, I think.
She felt like she was being eaten alive, and that's exactly how I'm feeling. And
yes.
she was hospitalized.
Well, that's
years.
where we all have come from. We've all been eaten alive.
I'm literally getting eaten alive. I'm watching my body deteriorate. Literally. It is absolutely frightening.
So, I know. We've all been there. I mean,
I'm sorry to
it's
be
hard to
emotional,
imagine anybody else having this, but we are all there. We've all been there or are there. Every one of us. Our bodies are eaten alive. We have people, many of us have scars on our face that are never going to go away. We have scars in our bodies. We've been eaten alive. So
it is. Whatever it is, it's eating away and eating, not just emotionally, but deteriorating. I used to be so fit and healthy, and I've turned into an invalid. I can barely walk.
So the only skill that you need is the ability to read and write. That's the only skill that you need to get out of this. So thank you. Anyone else before we wrap it up?
Me. Yes. How can I make a mouthwash out of NG soap?
Well, you take the first place. You only want the NG. Which one?
Well, you can use the mouthwash, and then you don't have to use the NG soap.
Yeah, I don't have the mouthwash, but I do have the 100% NG soap.
You want the 50%. You want the 50%. You don't want the 100% to make the NG mouthwash.
All right.
But just order it. It's already put together. It's got ionic minerals in it. It's got peppermint. It's got cinnamon. You've got to mix them right, otherwise the stuff is going to float and it's not going to work.
Okay, and the NG soap does not have ionic minerals.
No. These are all separate ingredients that get put in at a certain time in a certain place so that they work.
I see.
It's like sometimes if you bake something, if you don't put the ingredients in right at the right time, it doesn't work.
Okay.
So yes, and once you get the big bottle, the 16-ounce bottle, when you're about to use that up, you order the refill. Don't throw that bottle away. The refill is only 2 ounces, and you pour that in. It's even less expensive with the refill.
And you need to use non-chlorinated water, right?
Yes, use distilled water.
Yeah, okay.
Or Poland Springs. Okay, anyone else like to share or ask a question before we do the drawing? We're about to do the drawing. Chris, you got a winner for us?
Yes, Richard.
The last 4 digits of your phone number is?
7828.
7828. If that's the last 4 digits of your phone number, you won a new version of the book, signed, or $20 credit in the store. Are you still on the call? Is the person still on the call?
Yes.
All right, you're still on the call. Maybe you're muted.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, 7848. You're muted.
7828.
7828. You're still on the call. Do press *6 and you can claim your prize. Well, you have the phone number, right?
Yes, I do.
All right, you can call later. You can call her and contact with her or him. Okay. So we have a winner who can probably hear us, but we can't hear that person. And all right, this concludes the recording. You can stop.